Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever in the world you are. Welcome to The Other Side with Fariha and Talat. G.K. Chesterton said that a good novel tells you the truth about its hero, but a bad novel tells you the truth about its author. So you may have guessed it. Our show today is all about books, writing, authors, and a bit later on, we'll quickly introduce our very, very special guest for today. I was reading the other day, Fariha, when I was doing some research on this show. I was reading the other day, can you actually make money being an author? Can you actually support a family? And that's what a lot of people ask about this career. A lot of parents worry about this when they find at school their kid gets a positive report, oh, amazing at creative writing, one day might be an author, and they just worry that, oh my God, does that mean he's not going to be successful or not going to make money or not going to be able to support a family? But I was reading somewhere that when you write a book, there are two ways to publish it. One is if you self-publish, you can actually get maybe 60 to 70% of the money from the book sale. But if a publisher picks it up, then you get about 10 to 12% of the net profit. Okay, so for example, what publishers actually do is, because they understand authors need some money to keep themselves going, obviously, they give them like an advance of like maybe $5,000 or $10,000. They'll give them an advance on believing that these books will sell or that the book will sell. Otherwise, the publisher would not take it from you. So what happens is they give you $5,000, and then say a book is selling for like $25 a book. You actually have to sell 4,000 books to be able to break even at $5,000. Okay, so, and when you think about it, 4,000 books sounds like a lot, right? So is there money in it? Is there not? I'm not sure. Fariha, what is your opinion on this?
Yeah, I think Talat, so I didn't know that it takes so much effort, frankly speaking, to start making money, and that's why I can understand that why people who are intellectual, often they are not the most richest, because they and we do need intellectuals and writers in the society. About the show, very quickly, if we can get into it, because I think what is very, very special, and I love the quote that you shared earlier, because this is someone who has been through life, and I'm sure he's going to share with us. And this is, and he writes on crime. He writes on sort of politics, political crime rather. And he's won several awards locally and internationally. And he's a CSP officer, he's a serving police officer and a writer. So how amazing. And I think his stories, his books, I think tell a lot about his own intellectual capacity and the contribution he's made. So this is Talat. Who is he that we have today?
Yes, we have the one and only Shahid Ahmed, who you very succinctly described is quite an odd one out, because you think about a police officer, you don't think about an author, right? I've read two of his books. I know his first book was The Prisoner, which I haven't read. What I have read is The Spinner's Tale, which I really, really enjoyed. Really fast-paced, very interesting book, loosely based kind of around, the whole Daniel Pearl thing. And then the other one I've read is The Fix. And you find all of his books, yes, because all of his books are on cricket. There's also the theme about cricket. So clearly he's a man who, his novels tell you a lot about the kind of person he is and his own interests. And The Fix is about a women's team, and the heroine is somebody called Sanam, and it's about match fixing, basically. So it's also a very interesting book. So I read two of his books, thoroughly enjoyed them.
And just to add one more, The Party Worker. And what is very intriguing, Talat, I'm a Karachiite, you grew up in Karachi, and I think when you read his novel, actually they're based on sort of true or inspired stories, and I think there's so much going on in this city. The city is very complicated. I think it's a lot of fun, but there is a darker side, and the darker side is very dark. I think the way he captures, and that you mentioned about the police, उनका जो एक image है, I mean, we call it to last, right?
Yeah.
I mean, quite a bad way, but that's how the perception has been. And I think the way he's put it forward, realistic, but also very respectable way. So I think it's amazing, sometimes people in these professions, how things can turn around.
Absolutely.
And
So we'll hear a story. But I promise you it's going to be a very, very interesting show. So don't miss it on the other side with Fariha and Talat.